Time now for another In the Legal Know with Vincent J. Russo. And Vincent is joining me here in the studio with a look at how grandparents can help pay for their grandchild's college education. Last time we talked about parents investing in the 529 college savings plan.
Right.
Now we're going to talk about grandparents.
Yes, and I thought let's focus on the grandparents because they may have more money available to be able to help their grandchildren. And being a grandfather with 3 grandchildren, I got to tell you, it's nothing better than that.
Right.
And you want the best for them. Mm-hmm. So college savings, so expensive. We talked about that. Over $50,000 a year, private pay in public school, in state schools, over $20,000. And families pay about $26,000 a year on average for college tuition and room and board. And when you add it all together, it really could run up to $70,000.
Right.
So putting money away now for your grandchild can make a huge difference. Like everything else, putting money in sooner into a plan that will be put aside for their college education, it'll allow it to grow and be worth a whole lot more later. So that's where the 529 college savings plan comes into play. Mm-hmm. And every state has it except for one. But we're in New York here today, and we'll talk about the New York plan. It's the New York 529 Direct Plan. Mm-hmm. And you can go to the website, newyorksaves.org. It's a wonderful website, and it's really pretty straightforward. So I'm a grandparent. I want to help my grandchildren. I can go to that site. I can open up an account for each grandchild. I can put $1 in. I could put $10,000 in. I can go up to $16,000, which is not subject to the gift tax laws federally, or I can go even beyond that.
And that's $16,000 a year?
Per year, per beneficiary is excluded from the gift tax laws federally. And there's a special rule that actually you can do 5 years of gifting at $16,000 all at once, and it's an election you make. So you actually can put up to $80,000 into that account without any gift tax issues and set that money aside, grows tax-free. That's the big benefit here. And then when the monies come out, they're used for the child's higher education, or it can even be used for elementary or high school up to $10,000 a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was a change that occurred more recently.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. So, and can you invest at any time, or does it have a certain time of the year that you can do this?
You can put money in any time of the year. Mm-hmm. You have investment accounts you can choose from within the New York Direct Plan. And you can move money from one account to the other anytime you choose. In case you want to change the type of investments you're in. Okay,
that's so interesting about I didn't know high school. So if you really know, your grandchild's born, you want them to have a Catholic education, you can start putting away for that now.
Correct.
Oh, wow.
Correct.
Okay. So, and also any school, like we were talking about Catholic schools, but okay, if you're doing this in New York State.
Right.
Now we'll talk about colleges. Can you go to an out-of-state college and this money is still?
Yes, there's no issue there. Also, some vocational schools are also covered. So you can go to in-state or out-of-state. Also, when you put money into the New York plan, you can take a deduction of up to $5,000, and if you're married, $10,000 on your state income tax return, the New York State income tax return, if those monies are used for qualified higher education.
Okay, now, what if so for years you're putting this money away.
Right.
And your grandchild decides not to go to college, what happens?
Yes. Well, first, let's talk them into going to college.
Exactly.
Because everybody should get a college education if they can. But let's say that doesn't happen. You can move those monies for another beneficiary, and they're a qualified or eligible family members. And it's pretty broad, but you can work up, you can work down. Grandchildren, great-grandchildren, you can work across the siblings, first cousins, and spouses of all these family members. So you can move it around. Second choice is you can use it for yourself, go back to school, and you could use it for yourself. Or third, you could take the money out but now it's subject to income tax and a 10% penalty.
Okay.
So that's the last choice. So, some parents or grandparents have put money aside for their child and they didn't use all the money for their education. Maybe they got a scholarship. And so they could take those balances and move them over for the grandchildren. So that's a move. Also, if there's a scholarship, there is an exception to the rule. So let's say a child got a $50,000 scholarship and you put that money aside, now you don't need it. You actually could take it out up to the amount of the scholarship amount, no penalty, but subject to income tax on the earnings.
So the money that's in there, what can you spend it on and what can you not spend it on?
Okay. So there are qualified education expenses. So tuition would be right off the top. Fees related to the tuition, room and board, textbooks, and if there was any sort of computer or computer software requirements for a class, they could be eligible as well.
Not spring break.
Now, yes, you go, not spring break.
Oh, okay.
All right. So that won't work, but if you pull the money out for that, penalty, 10%, and the earning subject.
So you do have to be careful. I mean, you really, I know I'm joking, but you can't use the money. You have to go for what is eligible.
Right, and you can open up your a college savings plan for yourself. You can actually be the account owner and the beneficiary.
Okay.
So a child could open up their own account, sell newspapers, make money, put money aside, put it in a savings account.
Never too early to start saving. Okay, final thoughts. It's a good idea if you can.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So grandparents can think about it. How do they best help their grandchildren? And one of the ways is to give them a gift of education and being able to pay for it.
Okay. Vincent, as always, thank you so much for all your knowledge and expertise. And we'll see you in about 2 weeks.
Yes.
Okay.